After heated discourses and war of narratives over crony capitalism, Sonia Soros saga and no confidence motion against Rajya Sabha chairman that have paralysed the House for the entire winter session so far, the Parliament finally witnessed a debate, and quite an intense one at that. The debate was to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the adoption of Bharat's constitution. It was Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh who initiated the debate in the Lok Sabha as the House took up a two-day discussion on the glorious journey of 75 years of the constitution of Bharat. He led a fierce attack at the Congress party and outlined how it stifled, hijacked and destroyed the spirit of the Samvidhan several times. The Raksha Mantri clearly stated that the Congress did to destroy the basic principles of the constitution, and in contrast what the BJP is currently doing to safeguard the Samvidhan. And he said, and I quote, "One party always tried to hijack the Samvidhan while the BJP has developed key schemes around the Samvidhan." He further added that the Congress disrespected Samvidhan several times while the BJP has kept Bharat united. The Congress couldn't tolerate the autonomy of institutions, the Raksha Mantri added, highlighting how the BJP is making Bharat Atmanirbhar, using the constitution as the Aadhar or the basis for it. Raking up the emergency, he said the Congress tried to destroy the Samvidhan while the BJP bows before the constitution. Taking a dig at Rahul Gandhi and other opposition leaders like Akhilesh Yadav, he said some opposition leaders keep constitution in their pockets just like their families keep the constitution in their pockets or kept the constitution in their pockets for generations. The defence minister said the BJP-led NDA government is committed to the good of the people and to keep the constitution on their forehead. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra made her maiden statement, and where she said that the Prime Minister, taking a bob at him, said कि जैसे राजा भेष बदलते हैं आजकल कोई और भेष बदलता है, and she said that current government actually does not treat it as the Samvidhan but the Sanghvidhan. Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson of the BJP with us, Arun Anand, columnist with us, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst with us, and Shahid Ali, advocate. Dr. Ranganathan also stays on. My namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Siddharth Yadav ji, ये संविधान है कि संघविधान है? That's the jibe that came from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, saying it is you who is undermining the constitution. You're on mute, Siddharth ji.
My apologies, Anand,
Yeah, go ahead,
and
please.
good evening to all your viewers. It is definitely the Samvidhan and not the Sanghvidhan, and it is the Bharatiya Janata Party and all the people who live by the spirit of the Constitution and for the country that have upholded the spirit of the Constitution for so many years. Otherwise, had it been for the Congress Party, they left no opportunity in the past to undermine the principles of the Constitution, to downplay it, to use it, for their own benefit, and to play with the Constitution just for as their vote bank and to garner political support. Today as well in the debate we have seen all the opposition benches, and especially Priyanka Gandhi, while speaking on the Constitution, the only prism that they see the Constitution with is the prism of appeasement. And there is nothing more for the Congress party and the Gandhi family than they look out. Otherwise, in a debate when constitutional principles had to be remembered and upheld, when the constitution makers were to be celebrated, Priyanka Gandhi speaking about a Darji in Sambhal, had she wanted to speak about a Darji who was Kanhaiya Lal, जिनको ये कह करके कि सर तन से जुदा लाइव वीडियो पे मार दिया गया था. But appeasement. This is the only policy of the Congress party and Gandhi family. They cannot come out of that aura of appeasement and to send a message to their vote bank for their political support. And that is what was seen today. In the past, we have seen, the country has seen, it was the Congress party and the Gandhi family from the first amendment in the Constitution till undermining all principles of the Constitution, till what we saw in the emergency era. It is the Congress party which has always let down the Constitution of this country. It is the Congress party which has always undervalued the Constitution of this country and tried to mold it for their political benefits. The people of the country are very smart and they're going to make the Congress party answer for it.
Okay, Tehseen Poonawalla also joins us. Tehseen Poonawalla, from Nehru to Gandhi. Jai Hind. From Nehru to Gandhi to Vadra, from the 1st to the 42nd to the 104th, can Dinas amendments, can the Dinas actually say they have defended the democracy and constitution?
Yes, but Srimati Priyanka Gandhi Vadra spoke about 1975 and she spoke about the apology after that. She spoke about the need of moving on. Yeah, sure, she's a Dinist who got elected to Parliament, unlike a Dinist who is sitting in the BCCI with no qualification. So let's not get personal here. Let's speak about what is to be spoken about. This special debate was about the Constitution of India. There were mistakes made in the past. Nobody's denying it. Srimati Priyanka Gandhi, in a beautiful speech in Parliament, did deny it. What she said is, we cannot go back into the past and say, you did this, so today this is justified. What must happen is, how can we be more transparent? So the BJP, for example, will always say, look, the Prime Minister's never used Article 356. Sure, you haven't, but you've used money power and other power to break governments down. She wasn't speaking about a darji. By the way, every human right counts. In the case of Sri Kanhaiya Lalji in Rajasthan, these were investigated under anti-terror laws. She's speaking about every single Indian, be it Ram Gopal Mishra ji or the people in Sambal who were killed by police brutality, by violence. And the fact, Anand, is those who are being killed in this violence in Uttar Pradesh are the poorest of the poor. They aren't the rich. And that is something that must be percolated. Somebody who's talking about peace, how is that appeasement? You're talking about you're talking about peace, you're talking about bringing about harmony. Only the BJP can find problems with somebody who speaks about peace and harmony.
Dr. Ranganathan? Dr. Ranganathan?
Well, first.
So a dentist can get elected properly via the proper mechanisms of the BCCI, and that is equivalent to somebody changing the DNA of our Samvidhan, of our own country, and saying, sorry, we did that, but let's move on.
No, a couple of points here. First of all, Anand, let me slightly correct Haseem. No Congress leader, leave alone Prime Minister, has ever uttered these following words: I am sorry for the emergency. Name one. From Indira Gandhi to Rajiv Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi to Sonia Gandhi. No one has uttered these very words. I am sorry for the emergency. No one has said it. Now, Tehseen, you're just wrong, factually wrong. Tehseen, you're wrong. So
that's not true.
Let's move
That's
on.
not true.
Now,
I don't want to interrupt.
Don't heckle him. No, he's saying nobody has said these exact words. You may say they have said something that implies. No. What is he saying? Please, let's not try and get into the semantics of it. He's saying nobody has said this statement. That's what he's saying.
Yes, but they have said sorry for the emergency.
No, have the patience to hear him out. No, why are you shouting him out?
I absolutely do.
Let him complete. No, it's not a bizarre argument. Sir, your arguments are not bizarre, but his arguments are bizarre. Now again, you are cancelling out somebody else.
I'm not cancelling Anand out. I'm cancelling your logic, Anand.
No, it's not my logic.
They've said sorry for the emergency.
No, he said.
I want to stop it there.
He's saying nobody has said, and I quote, this is the sentence: I am sorry for the emergency. No one has said
but
this.
But they've apologized for the emergency. Please continue.
Yeah. Okay.
Where? No,
sorry, Anand.
Anand, we've digressed because.
Okay,
look, I think, Anand, let me tell you the truth. I think we're living in an alternate universe where Goebbels rules and Congress is the leading party, because this is straight out of the Goebbels playbook. Goebbels said the first rule of propaganda is accuse the other one of what you are guilty of. These guys are accusing Modi. The pet grouse of the Congress is that Constitution is dead under Modi. Well, Anand, when does Constitution die? Constitution dies when a citizen is and stormed out. And that's what Jawaharlal Nehru did through his first amendment to our Constitution, following which under him dozens of books and films banned, historians and editors were jailed. When does Constitution die? When the president and the judiciary is forced to curtail the fundamental rights of a citizen. And that is what Indira Gandhi did through the emergency, following which tens of thousands of Indians were jailed and killed and sterilized, and Constitution's body, soul and preamble altered with care abandoned. When does Constitution die? When a Supreme Court's considered verdict is overturned with impunity, when the citizen's right to privacy is snatched away. And that is what Rajiv Gandhi did through the Postal Act, overturning the Shaban judge in an era of blatant appeasement. When does Constitution die on? Thousands of activists are arrested and charged with sedition and called anti-national when the election commission is severely compromised, which is what Sonia Gandhi did when a proxy rule. 8,000 activists were charged with sedition in a single day.
Our commission charging him with committing atrocities during the emergency and deeming him unfit for office. I quote, unfit for office. Was appointed as a chief election commissioner, ignoring the cries of the CEE that Chawla was actually spying for the Congress and passing on sensitive information to it. When does Constitution die? When the FCRA Act is retrospectively amended, rendering the High Court conviction of political parties like the BJP and the Congress toothless, which is what happened under Rahul Gandhi. when the High Court conviction of Congress and the BJP was rendered useless through a parliamentary amendment brought in by the BJP and supported by the Congress. Nehru, Indira, Rajiv, Sonia, Rahul, these are the famous five who have made sure our constitution is dead. On the other hand, just 30 seconds, how has Modi killed the constitution? Give me.
We just seem to have just temporarily lost Anand Ranganathan there. We'll try and connect back with him. He's in transit and he's joined us, so we'll try and go across to him. But Shahid Ali, there was a lot of dinners who stood up to try and defend and say ki, we have done enough for the constitution to save the constitution. My simple question is, when there is a whole thing about Parivarwad, can they actually talk Rashtravad? Can they talk about Loktantra? And can they talk about Samvidhan? Is it fair?
Why they cannot talk about Samvidhan and before saving the constitution? Is there any bar that if a particular person belongs to a particular this family, he is barred from raising the issue of public at large? He is barred from raising the issue which to save the constitution. Is there any bar? The constitution guarantees safety, security to all. When the same is in danger and somebody is speaking, it should be appreciated. They should be appreciated. Rather than branding that they belong to a particular dynasty, particular family, that their family had imposed emergency and all. We are in emergency for last 10 years. Now that emergency or declared emergency at least for a particular period. Now this is undeclared emergency, more dangerous more than that emergency, which we have not seen. But undoubtedly that emergency, if it's compared with the present undeclared emergency, the people will find, or whosoever will do this comparison, will come to the conclusion that this is more dangerous than that was. So the people who have been raising the voices of the people's downtrodden, oppressed class, they should not be targeted in the manner that they belong to a particular family, therefore they are barred. So I think they should be appreciated. And we respect those people as well, whosoever have been working together for saving the constitution.
Arun Anandji, legacy of the past should not be spoken about. Let's talk about the present and the future. Do you agree, disagree?
No, I think...
And Dinesh have actually defended constitution rather than dilute it or hurt it.
See, Anand, there are a couple of things. One is that you need to look at the past also, because you need to learn from the past and ensure that these mistakes are not repeated again. So I would say that, but you have to look at the past with a sense of proportion. Everything which happened in the past is not good or not bad. So there are grey shades also. So we need to learn from them. For example, we have seen that, during Indira Gandhi's tenure, Article 356 was used 35 times. Then if you look at the First Amendment of the Constitution, one of the key things was to curtail the freedom of expression. So it was brought by a government which was not even, officially elected. It was an interim government. The first general election was still to be held. You look at the post-emergency thing, Anand Ranganathan has mentioned a few things. As late as 2014, they tried to bring a anti-communal violence bill, which was basically heavily biased against the government. So, which was basically very heavily biased against the Hindu population. So,
What?
I think constitution is a dynamic thing. It's an ever-evolving thing. And the fundamental issue is that, गांधी जी भी ये कहते थे कि सच बोलना चाहिए और मैं भी ये कहता हूँ, लेकिन बात ये है कि वो बात कह कौन रहा है. Authenticity of the person is very important. So as Anand was saying that they haven't apologized, and even if they and Tehseen had a different opinion over that, but have they apologized it from their heart? And the very fact that Congress, the structure of Congress post 1967 is such that it has become basically, a JB party of a certain family. There's no internal democracy in Congress. It continues to be, headed by or driven by Dinesh through the remote control. So how do you expect, the question is, does Congress have the moral right to, raise these questions?
Now, in this case, are we? Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, and then I'll go to Siddharth.
I think, thank you. No, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm just saying today is it's very unfair on Tehseen because there are three Anands who are after him. not just one. Normally एक ही काफी होता है, आज तीन है. And but you know, I just wanted, before I was cut off, I wanted to say this open challenge to Tehseen to name one decision of Narendra Modi, one in 10 years. I'm sure he'll be able to find one that he went against the constitution. I will tell you, Modi has never unilaterally or without cross-party support overturned even the Supreme Court judgment. On national television, I challenged Tehseen to say that Congress supporting Modi in overturning the Supreme Court judgment on SC/ST Act was wrong. Say it if you have the guts. Say it, open challenge.
Not just you asked that question. The other point I also wanted to make was when Tehseen Poonawalla turned around and said that this entire Samvidhan Badal Denge aspect, again, I think we've lost Dr. Ranganathan there. I'll just quickly go. Yeah, I think his video is just frozen. He'll come back. But Siddharth Yadav, are we living in a state of undeclared emergency? That's what Shahid Ali believes.
I think, Anand, this is the this is the greatest injustice that can be done to a country when, you know, there's a clan of people who would sit here and who would undermine the actual emergency also by calling one period where the economy is growing, the country is growing as an undeclared emergency. When you do this, you're not just lying about this period, you're also undermining what really people had to go through when the actual emergency was, imposed. And when you say that we are in a state of undeclared emergency, you just try and compare and answer a few things that happened. 1,11,000 people were booked under MISA, under the DIR. Has it happened in the past 10 years? All articles of the Constitution, Article 19(1)(a), everything, media censorship, prior approvals, everything was there. Is it today? Article 22 of the Constitution, arbitrary arrests happened. So many landmark judgments came in. The ATM Jabalpur case came in. Is it happening today? Article 21 of the Constitution, police brutality happened. It was flouted. Is it happening today? If you compare anything and if you have one sense of things that happened at that period of time, I think you would not do this disservice to your country. You would not sit on a national television and do this injustice by saying we are in a state of undeclared emergency. You are not only undermining today's period, but you are also doing injustice to the people who had to go through a lot during that time. And it was a lot, believe me. And we have been discussing, and I think most of us, at least for me, I can say, I was not during at the time, but I'm a student of Constitution and I know what happened to the Constitution during the period of emergency. Would you tell me, would you sit here and tell me that nothing happened to the Constitution? And now Tehseen is sitting and saying, Dynas are apologizing. Dynas are saying that we were the saviors of Constitution. People who have always undermined. Ask few questions to Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And then Tehseen, I think on behalf, especially on the behalf of the Gandhi family, I think you can answer. Why don't you ask what is the opinion on the First Amendment that was brought? A change in the fundamental rights? Why don't you ask that the National Commission for Backward Classes was not given the constitutional status? Why don't you ask them that Indira Gandhi ji had suspended the fundamental rights? The basic structure of the Constitution had to be imposed, had to be told by the court that you cannot do it. Why don't you ask your opinions about that? The people who have played with the Constitution, literally used it, as a tool for their politics, are now sitting and saying, we were the saviors of Constitution. We carry this book in our pockets. We are the people, we are the Masihas of Constitution. Do not do this injustice. We are not in a period of undeclared emergency. If you say so, either you are lying blatantly or you are really misinformed. You do not know what emergency is. You do not know what Article 356 is, how many governments were toppled during the same period. Forget what Indira Gandhi did during the entire time, but during emergency, 9 state governments were toppled. How many were toppled in the past 10 years? Do not do this injustice. My only request is that.
When was EMS Nambudri Pad's elected government in Kerala toppled? And for who? Tehseen Poonawalla?
Yeah, it was done by Nehru.
And what caused the whole thing of one nation, one poll, which started from 1952 onwards? What broke the chain and who broke it?
Sure. Now, please allow me the same courtesy that the BJP was allowed. I do agree with my friend Siddharth Yadav. I think, and he's one of the best BJP spokespersons, I do agree that the First Amendment to the Constitution that restricted free speech in Article 19 should go. Who is the government in the last 10 years? Why didn't they remove it? Yeah, I do think emergence. I do think censorship is bad. I think censorship is terribly bad. I don't agree with censorship in movies. And I remember the late Arun Jaitley ji at the CNN News 18, the event with Kangana Ranaut ji when she was an actor, not an MP, and he was giving her an award as the Minister of INB. She told him about how there was censorship, and he promised that with the Shyam Benegal committee, censorship will go. This is on your platform, Anand, your channel's platform. Has censorship gone? No. In fact, there is now demand to censor OTT. May I make? Look, this is so unfair.
I'm telling Anand to wait. Bhai. Okay,
Sure,
don't jump the gun. I'm telling Anand to wait.
I do. I think that it's very easy to look back at the past and blame everything. It is what we do today in the present. Dr. Anand asked a very pertinent point. Tell me one thing that the Prime Minister did that is anti-constitutional. I'll tell you what the Prime Minister and the government did that is anti-constitutional, and it was upheld by the Supreme Court, and it was demonetization. I think it was wrong for the Supreme Court to uphold it. It was a terrible decision that the Prime Minister had no right to. Let me ask
one second. No, Tehseen, 1 minute.
Let me answer one last thing about
Okay, give him 10 seconds.
Mr. Arun Anandji said on your show that there was supposed to be a bill, a communal violence bill, which, by the way, he's not read, and neither is my friend Dr. Anand read. I have, because I know about the bill, which was discrimination against Hindus. I have read that bill, the draft copy of the bill. Nowhere in that bill is the word Hindus written. If anywhere the word Hindu is written, I will
No,
apologize.
Sir, one minute.
What that bill said was that in case of violence based on mob violence, mob group, those who were in majority, not it does not have to be religious. It could be sexual. It could be linguistic. Where people who are, say, a linguistic minority, so a Hindu in a Kannada or a Malayalam speaking Hindu in Delhi, if he's beaten up, is a linguistical minority. You will have to protect his or her rights. If it's a sexual minority, you'll have to protect their rights.
Okay. What a nuanced argument when you are now finally interpreting the word minority as Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar wanted it to be interpreted. Otherwise the word minority is interpreted totally differently. It's used as another word to substitute the word Muslims. That's how the Congress. The Congress has placed that game. I heard you out. The Congress. Let me make my point. Don't heckle me. When you get heckled, you get upset, and then you heckle everybody else. Tehseen, that's not fair. That's not fair. I may have disagreed, but I waited for you to complete. Right? I waited for you to complete. No, please don't do this. That's unfair, Tehseen. The other part. More than 1 minute, Tehseen.
And I'm not allowed to.
1 minute. Well, you made your point. I didn't interrupt you. I stopped others from interrupting you, but you don't interrupt me. 3,000 plus Sikhs were massacred on the streets of our country, and all they said is we apologize. And they asked a Sikh to do it on the floor of the house, and that's apology. 3,000 Sikhs were massacred, and we are sorry. You changed the DNA of the you changed the DNA of the constitution. You added the word secular and socialist on it when parliament was when democracy was in jail. And you're saying I'm sorry. Let the Congress party, if they're really sorry, turn around and say we want a special session of parliament and we want these two words taken off our preamble, and if they have to be reinserted, let there be a comprehensive debate. Let there be a collective, inclusive decision of the parliament in a joint session to do that. Till the day the Congress and let the Congress party say the 42nd amendment that was force-fitted there, where they said anybody who's a prime minister, even for one single day, and even if they pick up the gun thereafter after demitting office, go ahead and shoot somebody, they cannot be tried in a court of law. Let them turn around and say that was a mistake and that's anti-constitutional. That violates the right to liberty of every other citizen of this country. Let them say that and say we want this debate right now. Then I will say that they are really sorry.
Allow me to rebut that because that was
yes, Dr. Ranganathan, I have Dr. Ranganathan, Anandji, I've just got 30 seconds. Yes, go ahead, please. I've got to wind up. Yeah.
I'm saying, look at the duplicity. Tehseen
is you're saying, on mute. Tehseen, please. I don't want you to appear as if you're on mute. Please. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Tehseen is saying Modi's decision of demonetization was anti-constitutional. How? Morarji Desai also did it. It's got nothing to do with constitution.
No, it was recommended,
it's a legislative decision.
It was recommended and it should have been done 15 years ago in 2000, and it was done about 17 years ago.
And second,
gentlemen, I'm going over. I have to wind up.
Secondly, when he says
the constitution debate continues, it will continue into the weekend. Thank you to all our panelists. We're going to take a very, very short break. We return with brass tacks. Stay with us.